Okay, so a quick recap on two trades that I did. I have to compliment myself. So this is my color book. I do almost always the same things. In the morning I was really patient. And why was I patient? Because I saw rounded edges, right? So we have rounded edges curling around like this. And if you get a manipulation on open, then it's likely that price will take the origin of the move for that rounded edges. Market opened here and it just straight dumped immediately in 1, 2, 3 moves. Okay, by here I was doing other things with the kids, but in the meantime I was really patient trading the reversal. I was telling a friend, okay, so why do I have a reversion model or reversal model while I can also trade the trend, which means every time we get a rejection from in this case, breaker level, why don't I just short? But that's something to reflect. I think I built up some frustration here also in the morning session. I think in the morning session, was this also in the morning? Oh wow, did I take this loss? Oh yeah, I had 2 losses, 1 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. It was really terrible. I was reading the market so badly. So this is more a psychology reflection than a trade reflection. Okay, so the price has been just absolutely ripping the last few weeks. So overall bias especially also seeing the weekly profile. We opened, we went down, and now we're moving up. So if I want to trade the forever model or trade divergences, S&Ts, I should trade them with the trend. That's the lesson of yesterday. Trade with the trend especially when the market is, I don't want to call it manipulated, but of course Trump was supposed to announce a really big deal. Then of course the markets will respond to it, but it will at least increase volatility. And then it's just your best bet to stay and move with the markets. So of course I took that advice into account, and what did I do? I faded the move. So I was looking here for a short opportunity. There was some levels taken. Actually, what I see here is that these levels got taken. Oh yeah, so there was this big 4-hour level. NQ already took it, moved up. Then ES took it and started moving down a bit. Okay, so there was chop. And then price moved up, and then it broke above my level, or at least my entry, and can I do it like this? Yeah. And then it started moving up, ripping excessively over there. When I got this move down, I thought, okay, this could be it, but of course I was just hoping and not just taking the charts as they were, and they were just saying, I'm going to rip, and no matter what you do with your trade, I'm going to rip exclusively fast. So I got stopped out here in the morning, and I was thinking, okay, what was I thinking? I should just long instead of short. So enter the US session. I was really patient here, but I did not pay any attention to my mental state. So I was just building up frustration here. I was building up FOMO, I was building up a feeling of lack, and I was not in sync with the markets. So we start ripping up, and of course, what then am I going to do? I'm going to fade the move. Okay, in my defense, this was a really, really strong violent move. This was 350, 70 points. NQ was just, no, they were actually moving in sync. So we got this 4-hour level, and then I think, hey, this looks interesting because we have this enormous gap. So it makes sense, right? It makes sense to short here. I start moving or at least trying to identify a change in the state. which was not really possible because there is no change in the state here. Yeah, here. So I was just waiting for more price action. Price action came. And I love this move where you get this first move. It creates a change in the state. No, sorry, a gap. But it starts chopping in that gap. And what it ultimately does is it creates a new move. And then you have a really good inversion level. And once that one gets broken with conviction, then you have a good setup to start shorting. So here we have that first move. And there's no gap, right? What time frame am I? Yeah, the 1 minute. So I think even if let's just see what happens. If I move to because this is interesting to look back for myself. If I move to the 2 minutes, yeah, okay, yeah. So I think I marked out this 2 minute level. And I said, if this one gets broken to the downside, we have a lot of space below. Actually, it's not, it's just one big gap. I think this was also my doubt, where I was thinking, you know, I don't have any proper level to work from. So at least I marked this out to see, okay, what could happen. So price starts chopping. So this already invalidates the level. But, if we get a new high, this could be the new change in the state, which ultimately it became. So let's see. Price is moving. We got new highs. But actually what I saw, okay, we got new highs here. And then I'm going to look for a proper change in the state. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a 2 minute level getting created here with this wick. So now it's interesting because this actually aligns with my very poor drawing here. You get a reclaim of this level. This is actually a nice wick. And then you want to short the gap that occurs that can be inversed. But this was actually a bearish FEG because I did not see any inverse FEGs. Look, the price action is just not showing me any proper level. So I thought, okay, then if you want to move, you have to move aggressive, and then you take a trade with something like this. So you trade the gap, but you trade it shortly. Either you take it there, and then you move to take this level, 1R, a little bit further, and if you're lucky, you get this level again for 2R. That's your most aggressive move, which is very much possible. But I think I didn't take it. So what you see is here, it moves in that level, rejects, takes this level, take that level, and then ultimately it starts chopping about again. And this actually shows that price wants to go up and does not want to go down. So potentially you have a second retest here because this was just a really slim touch. But then you also have to look at what ES is doing. And ES is more or less doing the same thing. So far they're moving in sync, not much to say, and then boom, candle up. And now you know this M2 level is going to inverse. And then it's going to move further again. So there was a potential for a, 1.3, relatively high RR. And if you really want to go on your risk, you just put your stop here. But that's not my style. So that was the trade. That was a possibility, but I was not paying too close attention and I was not feeling comfortable or confident enough to go aggressive. And then just price started moving. And by now I got frustrated because I did more or less theorize this trade in my head, but I did not get any proper entry. So price was still chopping about. So if we move to the bigger time frame, 5 minutes, we still have this change in the state which is not broken. So we go. And what happens? We have 5 minutes and you want to see a breakdown of this 5 minute level, and here we have it. So this is strong, right? We have this 5 minute which actually gave an ideal opportunity because this is the new change in the state, the most recent one. It got broken to the downside, and what you generally see is that when you have it broken, the low to the last high, which is this one, you get a retrace to the 50% or golden fib, especially when it aligns with the 5 minutes. So I saw this trade, I did not take it, I was still hesitant, really frustrated with myself. Why? That's the question that pops up mostly. So then I was thinking, okay, I take this trade, and then it actually moved not only to this level, but even further to a nice 2R, 2.5 even. Wow. So now I was getting more and more frustrated, and I get a perfect entry, or at least a retest. Let's go here, a retest into this. What was it? I think I went 2 minutes. So what I did is I thought, okay, this is a good level, price needs to react. I put my stop up here, and then I go for the 1.6. So it tagged my level, it went down, and then it started grinding up again. I was also paying attention to ES, and then it dropped. What did I do? Oh, I think I actually already took out the trades. Oh, I moved my stop, I think. It was just fucking terrible. And then it said, no, F you. Because this level started chopping, and you want to see it break. Especially when it gets above, you want to see it break. If it doesn't break, then it's most likely going to run in the opposite direction, which it did. These were my trades. Thank you for listening to my absolutely terrible TED Talk. It was an horrendous day. Big loss. And what can I say? Summarizing. No mental clarity, no emotional clarity, in a sense that I was empty or blank. I did not put myself in a position where I could favor the market or make use of the market. I was watching the charts the whole time while doing other things, which gave me splinter focus, which was absolutely not helpful. And I just kept on trading. So I think I took two small losses and one bigger loss, and that's just absolutely horrendous for the overall performance. So technically seen, trade with the trend, or at least acknowledge when you open a short and it does not go into your favor to also close it. That's it.